Hi, and welcome to, I guess it's Ward 13. No, it's Manchester Famous. Our guest today is our noted local artist, Mike Gonzales.
Hi, John. Thanks for having me today.
Thank you. Hey, that was some good artwork. Very impressive. Would you like to, do you want to talk about the individual
Yeah,
stuff?
sure. Why not?
Okay, Brendan, can we bring up the first one would be seven, which is a very controversial subject.
Hmm.
Oh, no, that's,
Well, we could whatever.
oh, there is two sevens. Well, let's have seven JKL, and then we'll go back.
Oh, well, did I send you that?
Yes, you last 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Well,
Who is this, Gonzo, as if we don't know?
So like, that's Joe Kelly Lavasser, and I figured I was gonna make it for the citywide art festival. It's like a big board. It's like the size of from me to the ceiling.
No kidding.
But
And the colors are just great. I'm colorblind.
yeah,
Just
are you
great.
really?
Oh, yeah. Like I can't tell the color.
I like a lot of grays. Depends on the mood. It seemed like he was fired up at the time, and it seemed like, but it's more of a caricature than an actual. I mean, he actually looks a lot better in person, but you know,
My mother threw out my high school masterpiece, Pope Paul VI in Hell.
I don't know why. Yeah, I do know why, because I wanted it. I wanted like a talking point at the Manchester Arts Festival, and I just, I never got to finish it and didn't bring it in, and
I think you should do.
guess I chickened out.
I think like Andy Warhol, you should do a series of them. Some of them should be like My Pope, which is long gone, where he's hellfire is around him.
Yeah, I know those ones. I'm gonna do a series. I wanted to do an Alderman series. Maybe next election I'll do all of them.
I don't think all the aldermen are worth actually doing.
Well, it's not that.
JKL is a superstar. June Triciani is a superstar.
Well, if you win, you get painted, and I have the right.
Maybe you
to
could
do
get a
that.
commission.
No, I'll just do it just for, like I said, just Manchester talking point. Maybe if I do some barriers next time, that'll be my theme to just do the alderman. What, 14 total? Is that what it would be?
Yes, two at large.
And then our
12
our
wards.
new mayor, of course, would have to be on there too.
What about our old mayor?
Well, if she runs and wins, that'd be awesome. But
Well, she's not going to run. You could do
it'd be hard.
mayors.
It would be a current thing. I really wish she would run though.
She's not going to though
Sucks.
because
That sucks. for
politics
Manchester.
sucks.
Yeah, I can't imagine how awful of a job that must be, because thankless, and everyone thinks you have total control, but it really comes down to
It's the board. Whatever the
alderman.
board, she has to have a majority on the board.
Right.
She's not. It's like
Like,
Victoria
you can't
Sullivan
do all the
attacked-
things you
right.
say you're gonna do. Like, you can't. So
Exactly.
it's all BS. So like, to blame someone for anything, even if it's true, which half the things aren't true. But anyway, it's not about that. Once I heard she wasn't running, so that sucks. But whoever wins,
June might run.
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I can't think of anyone like in a hotter position, like momentum wise.
Well,
Than
her in her Senate race, she's the official candidate now, and the candidate that won the Republican nomination dropped out. Now they got the guy that owns Murphy's, the right wing guy, is running instead. For some reason, they didn't pick Barbara Griffin, who came in second, who was moderate Republican.
So she got the amount of write-ins she needed,
Yes.
and that puts her on the ballot.
Oh yeah, she
Beat people with the amount of people.
She only needed. You only need 10% of the people that are voting in the Democratic primary. So it's how many write-ins, or 35. And I'm sure I didn't check her out because she had a video with the Chris Pappas endorsing her, and she's out there in Ward 1.
Well, I can't think of anyone better to run for mayor. Who else would be there?
Well, let's look at your art, Gonzo.
Well,
let's look at statue one, because we get two Statue of Liberties. Oh, can we kill the WPYP?
So
This is the. Oh, look at the McDonald's bag. She doesn't seem svelte.
it's called Statue of Liberty, and
It's cool.
it's just like
Oh, and it's got the new Liberty Tower or whatever, the 1776 in back of it, right?
Yeah, the Freedom Tower.
Freedom, is that what it's called? The Freedom
I
Tower?
think so.
Yeah.
But it's just, like when I made that, actually made that a while ago. And at the time, it was like during the supersize era. Like,
Yeah.
it just seemed like everyone was getting fat.
Oh,
Now
yes.
it's gone down a lot, and McDonald's doesn't even have a dollar menu; it's a value menu.
No, it's terrible.
But it's still affordable, and it's like a shame that some people have to go to McDonald's to feed their kids. They get $6 and they can feed 3 people. So that's kind of the result of what happens when we put them in that spot. They're gonna get fat.
Poor
got
people can't buy quality foods. They have to buy highly processed foods because they're cheap.
Right.
And you get fat, you get heart disease, you get which makes you vulnerable to COVID. And then you have me, who's just fat.
And then you can't go to Hannaford and buy the ingredients for a good food.
No,
good
you really
dinner.
can't. With
That'll
the
cost
inflation,
you $30 for
yeah.
even pork, which is low price. It's already catching up to the old price of steak.
Yeah, it's crazy. Hey, let's look at
$22 for a steak now. Like,
yeah,
that's uncooked.
I know. I don't even eat steak.
So
I
that's
can't
what
afford
that was.
it.
Just like, watch out, bro. You're gonna get that way.
How about the statue number 2? Because here's another one.
So that one,
Traditional.
yeah, that's kind of traditional. But if you can see her face, she's kind of like rolling her eyes a little bit. Like, that's a stencil I made. The big stencil like that,
That's from your period where you had like bricks and everything in the background.
This one-
which I really liked.
I just made this one. This one is.
Oh, really? This is
Yeah, I made that one when my daughter was born.
Who's Liberty?
I named my daughter Liberty. Yeah, and just
Oops,
like
sorry, Brendan.
I used
just
to go
touched the
through a
microphone.
big phase of Liberty. I've done like 20 Statue of Liberty. I just like it. I don't know why. I
Have you
like
ever
what it
been there?
represents. I've been in her.
Yeah, I walked up as a 8-year-old all the way up. They wouldn't let us in the arm, and I think only briefly people were allowed in the arm.
There's a
after.
line to get in her, but I waited and had my turn.
That was 1971. All my ancestors came either on a boat from England or or Ireland to Boston on a boat. They never went through Ellis Island, or they went to Canada and came down here. Even Hopwood, James Hopwood, you go to England, then you just walk down here.
Yeah.
Because England was, I
we
know
were-
people, old French Canadians some of them have British passports still.
We're all immigrants,
No, Native Americans aren't.
Right.
Indigenous people aren't.
Right. But most of us are immigrants.
Well, we're not immigrants. We were born here.
Right. We're citizens because we were born here. But what she represents is, that's how America was built, and
Well, that was a gift from France for the
Yeah.
centennial.
Yep.
Because France helped us win the revolution.
Yeah, I love the history of it, just how they put it together, and
Oh, yeah.
it's so cool.
There's a baby Statue of Liberty in Paris.
Hmm.
It's small that they kept.
And we have a baby Eiffel Tower one in America.
Where?
I think Vegas.
Oh, Jesus, I've been there. I've been to that casino.
Yeah.
I didn't go on the roller coaster because my back. One of the reasons having a bad back, you can't go on roller coasters anymore.
Oh,
And I like dangerous ones.
So that you were just below the height limit, right?
That's true. Yeah, me and is it Tyrell Lannister?
Like, hey kid, where you going? Turn around, it's you. They're like, huh?
Actually, I've been able to go on rides since I was since 1968 or 9.
Oh, congratulations.
Oh yeah, I used to go Canopy Lake Park. Yeah, my ex, one of my exes, she's from Los Angeles, so everything was compared to Disneyland. How can you compare Canopy Lake Park to Disneyland?
Canopy Lake.
I loved it for what it was.
Canopy Lake is awesome anyway, and it's really good. People who go to Six Flags all the time are like, I'm not going to Canopy, but dude, it's
It's right
18
there.
minutes down the road,
Yeah,
and they do a great job, and you can get a season pass for like $60.
and it's a lot of fun. I haven't been there in years, though.
Kids don't know, kids don't know anything about.
That's
all they know
true.
is it's as big as Disney World to them, like a 3-year-old.
My father took us. We always, when I was a little boy, my brother and I, we wanted to go see the White Mountains. So what? He just took us for a ride around Mount Unconutic. But then we got older, and he did take us there. But you're just these little kids, so wow. Because what we always heard, Mount Washington we wanted to see. So he substituted when we were little kids. Mount Uncanunic.
That's funny. I can never find that place.
Mount Uncanunic, you just look.
I can see it. I can't get
You go
there.
through Goffstown, go up Shirley Hill Road.
Yeah.
There's nothing up there anymore. There used to be a hotel up there in a funicular, in one of those little railroads.
That'd be cool.
But that's always part of my life because that was the neighborhood, West Side.
I mean, I see it. I know what it is. I can't get there, though.
Hey, can we look at 6? I call this Duchamp because it reminds me somewhat of Marcel Duchamp's work. Or Picasso.
It does have a little bit of Picasso-esque in it, huh? The shapes and the, like, you know, it's a robot. So settle down. There's no nudity in it. It's just a robot, and that's a bolt.
Oh, okay.
But
what does it say?
and robots you can make any way you want because they're man-made. So that's the good thing about drawing robots.
Person-made, humanoid-made,
right,
or something.
But I'm a man, and I made it.
We might be robots.
So it is man-made.
We might be flesh bots, but that's a different. You talk.
The thing about making robots, which I love to do, is you can get the perspectives wrong. You don't have to get it perfect because what is a robot? It's made by a person, so you can make it any way you want. And if someone says, "Oh, that's off," like, no, it's how I made it. It's a robot.
Is Liberty a robot? You made her.
No, my little girl. Yeah, no, she's cute as a button.
There's all sorts of things about this. Is it the singularity or something?
She definitely doesn't poop metal. I'll tell you that.
Oh,
she poops poop.
Speaking of babies, instead of JKL, that big baby, let's look at 7, the baby. This is an older work, I think. This was up in City Hall, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, it's like the Star Child from 2001.
It's an alien.
That's an alien?
It's an alien.
But it's got the heart, but it's on the wrong side?
Well, it's an alien, and the heart is actually on the right side because he's holding it with his right hand. He ripped out his heart to offer it to humans who are lacking heart. So he landed, you can see in the background his spaceship lights.
Oh.
So he's walking out of the spaceship, approaching the humans who are like, whoa, a spaceship, dude. And he's like, here, you need this. Here's my heart.
I like it.
I'm willing to give you my heart, but...
I like it on its own terms without any explanation either.
Right. Well, I just made all that crap up.
Well, that's cool. Well, it was your subconscious is creating this.
Well, yeah, I guess so. And I like that one.
It also could be a starving child. When I was a kid, Biafra, which is Nigeria, tried to secede from Nigeria. And the United States, Great Britain, and the Soviet Union all were against it. And there was this horrible famine. So we used to go to the mom and pop stores that were everywhere, and they'd have a jar for children of Biafra with their big bloated bellies and stuff. And I'll never forget that. That John Lennon gave back his Member of the British Empire award to protest, Britain and its Nigeria policy. But you see, you can cooperate with the Soviet Union or Russia when, everybody's interested in the buck. Right.
Yeah. I feel like that one that they showed is a good example of, like, my influences. Like, I feel like that has, like, a mix of, like, Van Gogh and Francis Bacon in it.
Francis Bacon, definitely.
I see a lot of...
We should do a show on Francis Bacon.
I think Bacon was just like me. Like, he kind of threw it on there, and I bet he did a lot of layers. I bet he wasn't happy with things and just kind of etched into it.
He was careful as a draftsman, though.
But I feel like he kind of, like, stepped back and was like, I see it. Because I'll, like, paint something, do a couple layers, and then I don't like it, and I'll fix it, or I'll peel something back, and then all of a sudden you see something, and that's when I'll lean into that.
Well, we'll do a show on Bacon and his work. We can show your stuff.
He was a psycho, though. Most artists are psychos.
He was who he was.
Most artists that are worth anything.
He's one of my favorite artists.
Yeah, it's different stuff, and I feel like I don't know. I feel like he doesn't come up with that. He does whatever he finishes. I bet he didn't start to try to finish it that way. I bet he just kind of ends up there. And good artists can do that. They can just. I start with balance. I want it to not be an eyesore balance-wise. And then That's the most important thing to me. And then after that, I kind of pick my subject matter.
Or
Unless it's like the Statue of Liberty where I have a point to make, you know. But for the most part, when I paint, going into it, I will just literally draw an oval. I usually start with an oval every time and just kind of freestyle it. You know?
We did shot something of you at a studio, the old studio you're at, but we didn't get to where you were creating something. If you ever put a camera up, it has to be edited, though. I don't know. How long does it take you to do a painting, normally?
So I do about 10 at a time.
Right.
I like to line them up. I like to use the same color combos. So, like, if I'm spray painting navy blue with a stencil or something, I'll have a wet stencil, and I'll kind of, like, reverse that stencil. You know, I kind of just go through, and I don't spend too much time on one thing because it kind of gets monotonous and it can get blurry in my head.
I know.
But if I'm bouncing around,
Writing's like that. It's good to work on different things at the same time.
yeah.
Like
So
3 or more.
So I'll finish like 10 in like a month.
Okay.
So I'll just work on, and if I like one a lot, I'll take it inside once it's dry and like do the detailing, you know, because that takes me a while too, just to do all the little nuances.
How are you going to paint in the winter? I know you paint outdoors.
I paint outdoors. I just do that.
You still do it even during the winter?
I gotta paint. No one's. I don't know what to say. Like, people think I'm crazy, but it's actually kind of cool. You get a different effect when the paint freezes right away. Like,
I almost S-bombed.
You get a different effect when it's freezing. You get a different effect when it's raining. Believe it or not,
I can imagine.
you can paint acrylic. I mean, enamel spray paint on a canvas in the rain, and it will dry. And if it's dry, it won't go away. But at the time it's raining, if you get like some beading, you spray on those beads. The beads block the canvas and those little areas, and then they run off, and it gives you kind of a weird look.
Oh.
So I try to look at the bright side of all the weather. If it's sunny, I do all my epoxy stuff because that, you know, the resin will dry right away.
Right.
Winter, I just try to get different looks. It sucks, dude. But yeah, sometimes I'm just like, you know, freezing. But I do it because I feel like if I'm not painting, I'm always thinking about why, like, when I can paint. So I check the weather, and if it's anything above 40, I'm good to go.
So the climate is kind of a collaborator with you.
It is a little bit, and you can see in some of the paintings that take a while, they've been destroyed by snowfall. But what it does is it gives it a distressed look to it. So, like, the paint will, like, crack. And then I'll just kind of take that crack and peel back. You know, that's why I think, like, Bacon ended up with the stuff he did. I think he just kind of got there. That's how I do it. I just get there. And sometimes I like it so much, and then in the morning, you know, I'll look at it, and I'll just be like, oh, what was I thinking?
Same with writing.
Had too much drink last night, you know. I loved it then.
Okay, how about we're going to show 8 woman. I guess I'm caught making these names up. I really like this. Is that a woman? I see a woman in it.
I see a woman, huh?
What do you see? What did you see?
So this is a COVID guy it could be a woman too, in a hazmat suit.
Oh.
And he's just taking the money bags, baby.
I see this woman in a dress.
Like someone...
With her bag.
It's like a bank robber in a hazmat suit. Because what they did, you know, they really did rob people of a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people made money, and a lot of people lost a lot of money. But
what are the letters?
You have to assume the government ended up winning at the end. Because this would never have happened otherwise.
What are the letters?
Those are children's magnets that you put on the fridge.
Are they glued to the canvas?
They're glued to the canvas, yeah. And there's really no rhyme or reason what the order is. I just kind of wanted to put a childish approach to it.
HWT, heavyweight. Looks like a hefty gal. End. Vend. BYGN. Bygones.
Buy your...
Bygone. That's what I'm saying. Nip.
Buy your goods now.
Nip. ZY is, I don't know.
That's not a P. That's an upside down A.
Well, I see nip.
Right, but it's no.
The heavyweights.
So
I'm taking a nip.
So I'm glad you're doing this, because when someone looks at my art and they see something and they ask me, like, is that my uncle? I'm like, absolutely. How much money do you have?
It also could be an alien from like a reptilian culture too.
Yeah, it kind of looks like the Marty McFly guy who woke up, the guy with Van Halen.
Yeah.
Remember, he's like, that one.
Okay, let's go see.
So my approach, what I think it looks like, that's why I like getting opinions on people, from people, because you saw a woman in a dress. I saw a bank robber in a hazmat outfit. So that's different approaches, you know. That's why, like, commission work, if someone asks me, can you paint this and, you know, that, I let it be known, like, I can cover the subject, like I can make the person, I can make the dog, but I do it my way, and because I don't know any other way to do it.
It's filtered.
It wouldn't be, you shouldn't even ask me if you don't want it that way.
Okay, here's one of my favorites, 9. And if you can, Brendan, while he's talking about it, we can change our background to this. Tell us about this. I love it. I want to use it as my background now for the show forever.
Go ahead. So there's
All right, this is, you can't be like Glenn and go back on your word.
That's fine. I
Can we
don't even have to do anything.
Can we bring it back up on the screen so you can talk a bit?
So that's from like a children's book, that story in the square. Then I drew a baby. I just thought I like puns, like.
Yeah. Oh, I love this. This is great.
Like, I have this one tearjerker, but that's stupid. But I like puns.
If the baby was bald, that could be me.
Right, because you do cry a lot.
I cry about real wolves.
Right.
But nobody listens.
So it's about, like, you know, it's just a plan where I'm just trying to be clever. And then I had wolf stickers, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. I'll put the stickers on him crying, and then I wrote an article.
I didn't even notice the wolves.
Yeah, the tears are wolves.
And above his head, it would be on his left, but our right. What's that, like, ball above him?
That's just, like, one of the curly hairs that baby had when they're represented
in
cartoons.
Know. That could be like a portal.
You know, in cartoons where they do that little cowlick that babies get?
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's like that.
Well, hair, allegedly, you're not a child of the 60s, and I wasn't really fully conscious that hair is supposed to connect you with the universe. You can see that in the party scene in Midnight Cowboy.
So the article says, a baby cried real animals from his actual eye sockets yesterday. His mother came in and saw her 15-month-old child while wolves with fur began to pour out of the child. Immediately, the mother snapped a Snapchat of the never before seen phenomenon. Unfortunately, the miracle wolves ran on to the dining room, out the door, and attached to the kitchen and out the street.
Geez, what was she on, you know?
I know, right? Like, sure, lady. Sure you did.
She probably did, but good God knows what she was.
But that's the fun.
Maybe she was sniffing about, cleaning chemicals.
That's the fun of, like, doing art. Like, all I had that day was newsprint paper, which is the cheapest paper you can buy at the
store. Oh, yeah.
So you can sketch on that. All I had was that. I was like, I'll make a news article. And then the article, I just started, I did the headline, and I just started, like, improvising and doing the story, you know. It's just fun that way. It's probably a lot of spelling errors too, which is fun even.
Oh, who gives it? Yeah, you know what?
Which just makes it more me.
All right, I'm going to show you one of my great artworks, inspired by Peter White talking about that you were going to be in the art show, and it is C. Brendan. Oh.
Gotta find them. That's all.
Get your buns in here,
What the hell
cuz.
is that, Johnny?
That's Wee Wee Christ, but it's OUI, OUI. But what color is that? I'm colorblind. I was trying to get a urine type of color.
Yeah, that's pretty much urine.
There was a famous artwork in the early 90s that caused a hellstorm of criticism when the NEA gave a grant to an artist that had a thing P-SS Christ, which he had put a crucifix in a jar of his own urine.
Okay.
But see, that's a frog being crucified, so it's OUI. Yes, yes, Christ.
How does that? When you said you heard Peter White tell that I was in the art show.
Yeah, they were
and
talking
you
about it on the
made
morning
this,
show.
So how is that?
Because I wanted to have something for the art show.
Isn't that a crucifixion?
That's a frog. So it's French.
I don't see a
Yes,
frog.
yes.
Where's the
It's a
frog?
frog being crucified.
Oh. Okay.
Tight abs for a frog.
If you actually saw Meet the Feebles, as Kyle did, you'd recognize this as I took a frame out of the movie.
Okay.
Where he's actually a frog that was a Vietnam veteran, an American, with a real Jones for heroin, was praying to, his God for salvation. But this is a pun on the old, 30-year-old scandal.
So this is a veteran here. A veteran.
No, that is a crucifix of a frog god, and it's wee Christ. But it is kind of urine colored because I can't tell green or really yellow. And as we know,
depends on the urine, though.
yellowish green is this type of energy that flows, particularly through women,
If
or in balls that appear before Kyle.
Is
Or
it a positive color?
Yes, but that's how. If you have a certain site, you can see it flowing through women. I have no insight into men at all, and if you see how it's flowing, you can actually do something to make it flow better. It's it's a Hindu concept.
Okay.
I think women's urine smells differently too.
I have never smelled a woman's urine.
I have.
I've been close to her. Let's not get into that.
Well, I'm not making it gross. I have.
Okay, that is this is supposed to be a not good show.
This is a
Oh.
great show.
You gonna introduce Kai Kai?
Oh, Eric, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, you still haven't learned the art of leveling out your, so we're looking up at you like we're doing some fiendish act. But we'll talk. Okay, go ahead.
I am sorry about that. I have a new iPad and the camera is located somewhere differently.
Yes, because but we're gonna get to you in a bit, okay? Okay.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna talk about my latest work of art. Can we see D replicants? Oh, it doesn't really come out so good here.
You're genius.
I like it.
Oh, but it's you're supposed to, you see all three of her.
Yep, I see
What's
three
your
of them.
medium?
That's that dame that's running against Chris Pappas, and it's a headless dinosaur, but I have it cropped badly.
I don't see the head, so you did.
It's
you did good
underneath the dinosaur's bottom half.
there.
Well, that's her head. The dinosaur doesn't have a head.
There's two heads though. There's one
There's
way on the
actually
left.
three heads.
Oh yeah.
She's a nice smile.
What is that? The undercarriage of a dinosaur?
Correct.
It is actually a dinosaur because she's from antediluvian times. See, that's it. The audience will get. That's the whole thing.
I get
Move webcam. Where's the webcam?
That's half the fun. You gotta find it.
Is this it?
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
It is half the fun.
Okay, we have.
Hey, buddy.
We'll get to you in a second. We were doing a show on art, and we'll do a follow-up show because we'll do about Francis Bacon and other ones of your influences. But I think that's all we have of your artwork. Did you
Yeah.
enjoy? Tell us a few more minutes, like a couple minutes. How was the show? Did you enjoy get the feedback and everything?
Yeah, it's great. I did very well.
Are you listening?
Almost sold out.
No, I'm looking. I don't think I have any more of your. We had 10 of yours,
Right.
and that was 10
I would have brought some of my own. I have my own collection of
of
Gonzos.
Gonzo
Yeah.
stuff. Gonzo, why don't you
I have a Kyle collection.
show what you're working on right now?
Oh, this little thing?
Yeah,
I don't know. This is just like I just bring around art with me and work on stuff.
What color is that? Pink?
No, that's red-ish.
Hey, I got the general color.
It's another.
That's Picasso. That's what's her name?
Yeah, that's what's her name.
What is that? The name of that painting?
There we go.
That's lovely.
Except he did it in blue. It was his blue period.
Yeah, I had a red period. It was that time of the month.
You're even wearing your own art, which is impressive.
Well, we had a good half hour. We talking about Gonzo stuff. I think it's really good.
Those are just like the the late, like when I said I make 10 and just usually those are like 5 of them that I'm not. Those aren't even really done. I guess you could call them done. They should be done. Everyone says just stop, don't touch them. But sometimes I'll overwork them and ruin them. I'm sure any artist will agree that's an absolute factor.
Yeah.
But it's hard when you see something wrong or see something missing not to put your hands on it again.
Oh, well, Turner used to go right into the, his paintings would be hanging in the galleries. This is the 19th century. He had all those great seascapes that anticipate, Impressionism. And he would just go in and start painting.
That's great.
He was never finished with a painting.
In the gallery?
Oh, yeah, he'd go right in. But
awesome.
He was a guy, Kenneth Clark, the great, the art critic.
Power move.
Said there's a guy, he had no intelligence.
None
Outside of his art. And Bacon was like that. Francis Bacon. He couldn't even handle his own life. And they found out that the person that handled him was stealing from him. But he didn't care because he absolutely required this person because he couldn't function. He could function in the studio.
He didn't care because he had his art supplies.
Right. He was rich as hell.
He could do his
thing. He didn't really care.
Right.
He just needed to be able to go into his studio, which was strewn. You must have seen paintings and paint everything.
I feel like no one gets me because unless you're Bacon and famous and rich, then it's okay. But if you're not, then you're just a piece
bum.
of crap.
Well,
You're a bum.
But if I was rich, people would be like, "Oh yeah, let me build you a tent in the backyard. Do you need anything? Do you need a heater? Oh, you can't have a heater now."
Are you talking about your in-laws now?
Yeah.
Hey, that's still a sweet gig, though.